Well, it is my privilege to introduce the elected officials that we have here with us today. In no certain order, I've got a list. We have Sheriff Larry Smith with us back there in the back. We've got Judge Teresa Drum visiting with us from over west of here. Where's Judge Drum? There she is. Justice Worthen, with our 12th Court of Appeals. Justice Griffith, with our Court of Appeals as well. He's got that short-timer look on his face. County Judge Joel Baker is here with us. Judge Randall Rogers. Judge Meredith. JP. Judge Gary Alford, our other Justice of the Peace. Judge Kerry Russell. There he is, District Court. Judge Floyd Getz. Commissioner Warner is here with our Smith County Commissioners Court, as well as Commissioner Kerry Nix there in the back. We also have Commissioner Phillips and his lovely elected official wife, Karen, the District Clerk. And we have our District Clerk, Lois Rogers, here. Thank you all. Did I miss anybody?
Yes.
Oh.
Kelly Watt.
Good to see you, Kelly. Thank you for being here. Judge Skeen is here. Okay, you weren't on my list. All right. All right. Thank you very much for that. And what a privilege to get to address you. What a way to bring in the year, right? This is really neat. I prepared some remarks today, and I appreciate the introduction that the pastor gave. It's very appropriate to point to the highest authority in the universe on a day like today. Being a judge isn't easy. Let me begin with a statement that won't shock you. The law is not precise. The exact meaning is sometimes beyond reach. Laws are often the product of politics. They have been from the very beginning of our country. Sometimes half an apple is better than no apple. Sometimes injustice is built right into the law. A constitution that preserved the right to slavery denied women the right to vote. A law doesn't always solve problems. Sometimes a bill gets completely rewritten while it is being debated on the House floor, without close examination by people who understand its consequences far better than the lawmakers. And once again, ambiguity, confusion, and even injustice is printed into the statute. It is the judge who gets handed the mess that is made in Austin. It is the judge who is the filter between the people writing the law and the people who must live under it. Sometimes it's black and white, sometimes not. What is at stake? Freedom versus incarceration. Being made whole versus loss of money and property. The right to keep your child versus separation. It is the judge who must decide. Our way of life depends upon the courts. We can't take it for granted. Just look at the problems in Mexico. Look at the problems even in our South Texas counties. Russia, Afghanistan, Chicago. What happens in these places spills over into our lives. Places where rights are trampled, due process is forgotten, justice is absent. We are blessed. Let's not take that for granted. Jason Ellis, as judge, gives us confidence that many in the world lack. The model for a good judge goes back to the Old Testament. The people of Israel were still having a tough time after leaving Egypt and dealing with living in the desert and getting used to life that wasn't controlled by the Egyptians. And I'm going to read to you from Exodus 18, verse 13. It says, "The next day Moses took his seat to serve as judge for the people, and they stood around him from morning till evening. When his father-in-law saw all that Moses was doing for the people, he said, 'What is this you are doing for the people? Why do you alone sit as judge, while all these people stand around you from morning till evening?' Moses answered him, Because the people come to me to seek God's will. Whenever they have a dispute, it is brought to me, and I decide between the parties and inform them of God's decrees and instructions. Moses' father-in-law replied, what you're doing is not good. You and these people who come to you will only wear themselves out. The work is too heavy for you. You cannot handle it alone. Listen now to me, and I will give you some advice, and may God be with you. You must be the people's representative before God and bring their disputes to Him. Teach them His decrees and instructions, and show them the way they are to live and how they are to behave. But select capable men from all the people, men who fear God, trustworthy men who hate dishonest gain, and appoint them as officials over thousands, hundreds, fifties, and tens. Have them serve as judges for the people at all times, but have them bring every difficult case to you. The simple cases they can decide themselves. That will make your load lighter, because they will share it with you. If you do this, and God so commands, you will be able to stand the strain. All these people will go home satisfied. That's kind of the goal, isn't it? And that's really the model for our legal system today. Smaller cases get handled at a lower level, all the way up to the Supreme Court. Great set of qualifications for a judge. Now, Moses didn't say how old the judges should be. Some give Jason a hard time for being young. But I think when people see him wearing that black robe for the first time, they won't see his youth. Now, if he outgrows that robe, we may have to reconsider. If you know Jason, you know that he has a strong Christian faith. You know he believes that the Constitution must serve as restraint on government, as a way to protect freedoms given to us by our Creator, and to maintain a civil form of government. And you will know that Jason is smart. Let me share with you a few characteristics that I know about Jason. Jason is thoughtful. Jason and I were campaigning at the same time, in front of the same crowd, shaking the same hands. We developed a friendship and had the opportunity to stand on the sidewalk and wave signs at people. And to pass the time, we talked often. I was always impressed that Jason has a very sharp intellect, a curious mind, and a deliberate way of analyzing a subject. I would share with Jason some of the dilemmas I faced on the Criminal Jurisprudence Committee dealing with really tough legal issues. Jason is not the guy that will jump to a conclusion. Jason is tough. Being the personable, affable fellow that Jason is, with a wife that got more votes than he did, you might not realize at a glance that Jason is pretty tough. He is. There were a number of issues that I watched Jason deal with where a person with less tenacity of spirit would have taken a different approach. When Jason believes something is right, he goes ahead. Despite a difficult outcome, Jason will do what is right. I watched that firsthand. A campaign can really bring out difficult sides of personality, and Jason stood the test. He's tough. I don't know about you, but I appreciate a judge who is tough. Jason is true to the things that last. Jason has demonstrated in word and in deed that he holds on to eternal principles first and foremost. Micah 6:8, that you all hear Justice Griffith quote so often, says, "He has showed you, O man, what is good, and what does the Lord require of you? To act justly, and to love mercy, and to walk humbly before your God." Justice, mercy, humility, wonderful characteristics in a judge. Those characteristics give confidence to the people. When the people who live under the law run into those attributes in our police, in our lawyers, in our courtroom staff, in our lawmakers, and in our judges, the people have confidence. When justice isn't served, when mercy is absent, when arrogance says, "I'm somebody and you're not," the people rebel. Look around the world. Examples are on the news every day. I am so pleased that when the people come before Judge Jason Ellis, there will be confidence in the process, even if they disagree with the decision. They will see justice, mercy, and humility. They will see a judge that honors God and serves the people of Texas well. And I am so happy that we elected Judge Jason Ellis, and I'm very excited. Congratulations, Jason.